we provide a lot more mainstream media exposure than I think gun owners have ever had in the past. And that's why that, even though they're just tiny spots, and even though anti-gun groups and the government get 10 times as many spots as we do, that work is really important because you have people that listen to the other side of the story. They're like, oh, okay, so the gun owners really aren't that unreasonable. Huh. I can see why they're angry. That kind of thing, right? It's important.
Yeah, it is. And like I said, it's different if I'm in my own house or in a room full of gun owners. Of course, everyone's going to agree with me, right? But I'm in a shop full of complete strangers and, soccer moms and whatever. And they're cheering me on. They were all clapping. And I was like, wow, that's awkward.
Yeah.
Awesome.
That's a great story. Anyway, a little behind the scenes at the CCFR stuff. All right, let's move on. You know what? Oddly enough, that's never happened to me.
No way.
No, just you so far. Okay, let's move on. Now, interesting thing, when I attended as a participant with standing in the Mass Casualty Commission for the, what happened in Nova Scotia in 2020, the CCFR was there, but also the Canadian or the Coalition for Gun Control. They were a participant as well. And also NAWL, which is the NAWL. It's
NAWL.
It's NAWL. It's very similar to LAWL, but different, which is the National Association of Women and the Law. So it's a feminist group pushing for feminist legislation, I guess. And basically, these two groups were named participants as well in the Mass Casualty Commission for, I guess, I don't know why NAWL was there. I'm not sure what the point of that was, but the Coalition for Gun Control was certainly there to play a part in paving the way for the commission to be used as a tool by the Liberals to get Bill C-21, to create support for Bill C-21.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
the so-called assault-style weapons ban and the handgun freeze and all the other garbage that they've been up to. And it turns out that these guys, they applied for funding, and man, did they take a lot of funding for their role, which was no bigger than what the CCFR did. Anyway, tell us about that.
Yeah, so I think the Coalition for Gun Control got over $200,000, and NAWL got over got over $700,000. So you're talking almost $1 million to have them create this narrative. It's like if you pay for the result you need, right? Like you'll get it. So yeah, it's interestingly enough because a lot of their recommendations ended up in the final recommendation from the Mass Casualty Commission themselves, and
almost identical
stuff that would have absolutely not impacted that crime, but yet here we are, right? So,
just wild. It's your tax dollars using to fund the assault on your own property. It's just interesting, right? $1 million. And I'll tell you, and again, we're completely transparent. The time that it took me, my involvement in the Mass Casualty Commission, I had to read the materials, which took a while. I had to create a little report. And creating the report, it was quite short because it really wasn't that complicated what happened there. And
it had nothing to do with our community. He wasn't a licensed gun owner, right? So.
And I don't know if I had to hazard a guess, maybe 100 hours. At the most 100 hours. And these people dragged out, the feminist group dragged out $700,000, almost $1 million by themselves of taxpayer money they got. Like, you can't tell me that they put that much work into it. You just can't tell me that. Like, I refuse to believe that. And because how that's billed, and I don't want to get too far into the weeds here, but how that's billed is you hire people and then you submit their time. So if this is a group of female lawyers or whatever, they just submitted hours like crazy, it seems. And then the Coalition for Gun Control, I could see the CCFR billing out 30 grand, right? Or maybe 50 grand, maybe if we were paying ourselves big money. But the Coalition for Gun Control and just their yapping points, $206,000. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's, they talk about people at the taxpayer trough. I don't know. That's quite a story. Anyway.
Well, it's an investment in a narrative, right? It was an investment for the government to be able to have that report and the recommendations within it. So they can be like, yeah, there's, even all these groups support us attacking licensed hunters and sport shooters instead of going after criminals. Like I don't know, man. This is where we are. It's almost like scammy, like a Rive scam.
Yeah.
Right?
I look at this like total corruption.
If you don't stand up for your own ability to own and use firearms, who will? Join the CCFR or donate right now at www.firearmrights.ca.